Hey you guys, what's up? Lena Elkins here. I am the host of this Facebook group, Millennial Go-Getters, and I am also a millennial business and marketing coach. So there are so many new people coming to this group now, like every single day we have new people. If we have not had the chance, as in like you and me, to connect one-on-one, I'd love to learn like who are you, what are you about, where are you in the world, what are your goals, all that good stuff. So please PM me if you're seeing this and we have not had the chance to connect. So that's the first thing I want to say. I'm super stoked to be making this video for you guys because we're going to be covering a lot of different things. And I actually think that it encompasses a lot of the bigger themes that we've been talking about in this group recently anyway. So I'm not sure if you guys know this. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I have like a master list of all of the questions that you guys come to me asking. I get at least, I'm going to say like 2 questions a day from our community members about different aspects of, developing a business, living an entrepreneurial lifestyle, living a location independent lifestyle. So I get new questions basically every single day, and then I keep them in like one master document so that I always know, what I should be creating content on this week, so that I know that whatever I'm going to be creating and sharing with you guys is specifically tailored to you, and it's going to be answering some of your doubts or questions that you have, and will hopefully help you take yourselves and your business to the next level. So today, like it's Saturday, and me being like the loser that I am like sitting in my apartment going through all the questions. Just so you guys know, I feel like sometimes you guys think that I'm like, oh, like poor Lena, she's just like working all the time and whatever. First of all, I'm not working all the time. Or whatever. Okay, I have other things going on in my life. I have friends, I travel, I have my boyfriend, I have other things going on, first of all. Second of all, I actually really love what I do. I know that sounds like lame or this girl must be lying. Not true. I honestly, genuinely love speaking to you guys, working on my business, growing my business, and doing everything that I can to help you guys take things to the next level. So when I say that I'm in my apartment today, chilling, going through the list of questions that you guys ask me, don't say, oh, poor Lena, say, that's awesome, Lena, because I actually really do love it and enjoy it, and then it inspired me to make this video for you guys. So let me put that out there first. But I was going through the questions, and I realized that the vast majority of them, I'm going to say like 90% of them, all kind of revolve around the same core theme or idea, which is, what does it really take? Okay, what does it really like no bullshit? What does it actually take to succeed at developing a really successful business as a millennial? Okay, what does it actually take to be a successful entrepreneur in 2017 as a millennial? Because let's be real, what works today isn't necessarily what worked, 20 years ago for entrepreneurs. And also, I think that today more than ever, there are so many different kinds of entrepreneurs. There are like service-based entrepreneurs. There are the guys who are developing like apps and software. There are those guys. There are like lifestyle entrepreneurs. There are social entrepreneurs, who are working toward like nonprofit type stuff. There are so many different types of entrepreneurs today. And because of it, there is so much overwhelming content out there telling you all the different things that you should be doing in order to make it work, that it completely makes sense that it would be confusing to you. Like, what do I actually need to be focusing on in order to make this work? And because it's changing so quickly, there are so many new strategies and tools and systems coming out in the world every single day to basically help you make this happen. It is totally normal to wonder, like, what should I actually be investing my time and energy into in order to make this work? So again, all of your questions, you guys ask about lots of little aspects here and there. But ultimately, I thought it came down to, what does it really take, no bullshit, in order to succeed at being a millennial entrepreneur today? So I took some serious time to like reflect on this, and I wrote about it and I journaled about it, and I was really trying to identify like, what have I seen in this community that's worked and what hasn't worked, because I've been in this space for like a good amount of time now, and I have lots of friends in every different entrepreneurial niche, people who work on all kinds of different projects. Some people fail, some people thrive, some people just kind of plateau and stay in the middle, and I've kind of been able to identify over time and observe what works and what doesn't work. So that's what I want to share with you guys today, and I was really able to break it down into the 5 top things that I felt were the most reoccurring across the board. The 5 things, the 5 traits, I guess you could say, that the most successful entrepreneurs have. The people who have, when I say successful, I don't mean like people who show up one day and they're like, I made $1 million overnight and everything's great. I'm talking about like realistic people who have like steadily scaled and, moved up without any plateaus, without dropping, without anything, have consistently grown to basically reach their goals without any big drama, maybe some setbacks here and there, but nothing that's like soul crushing or business crushing. You know what I'm saying? People have consistently grown and scaled to eventually reach their goals, and who are eventually some of like the biggest players in the business, right? In the industry. So this is what I want to share with you guys. Today I'm going to share with you guys the 5 things I think most matter. So if you're wondering, can I actually get away with this? Can I actually succeed at building a business? How much of these are things that I have to be born with, and how many of them are things that I have to basically develop and learn and grow on my own? If you guys are wondering that, that's what I want to share with you guys today. So pay attention to these 5 things, and then you will be able to basically best determine if these are things that you're going to be able to move forward with and kind of what your chances are at succeeding. Between you and me, if you're in this Facebook group, if you've been following my content for a long time, you can probably do it. If you're naturally pulled toward this, if you are naturally interested in the entrepreneurial space and building your own business, if that naturally lights you up inside and it gets you really excited for whatever reason, like it does for me, you've 100% got this. But regardless, I want to share with you guys the 5 things that I think that you need to be paying most attention to. So I have this list in my phone right here. I'm just going to be going through the list, and we'll go from there. Sound good? Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is the importance of focus and commitment to one thing. And the reason why this like really screamed at me as the number one thing that I wanted to mention here is because this is probably the biggest topic that comes up whenever I speak to you guys, is you guys will come to me. It's funny, like some people are like, I have no idea what I want to do with a business. I don't have any ideas. I don't have any skills. I don't have anything. And those people are like one category, but surprisingly, it's very small. The vast majority of you guys who come to me come saying, okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I want to start a podcast, and then I want to do webinars, and then I'm going to launch this membership site, and then I'm going to offer these kinds of services. But the thing is, I'm also really good at these skills, and I think I could also offer this. And then I'm thinking that I want to just like start a group program, but then I also want to offer a one-on-one program. And I'm like, whoa, like slow your fucking roll, okay? Like chill out. So this is the number one thing that happens. It happens all the time. Is that as naturally creative people, our brains just generate like a million ideas a minute, and we get really, really equally pumped up about each and every one of those ideas, right? I get it. I do that all the time. It's just like a natural entrepreneurial brain thing, is you constantly are generating new ideas, new concepts for how you can proceed in your business. But here is the thing. First of all, that's great. If you're one of those people and you are naturally creative and you're naturally coming up with ideas that get you super excited, that's amazing. That's a great thing. The biggest mistake, though, that people make is the next step, which is that they try to tackle everything at once, or at least they start thinking about everything at once, right? How can I, move forward with this idea and this and this and this all at the same time, to the point where you get so overwhelmed with your own brain and your own ideas and everything that you're basically trying to put together that you burn out within like the first day. And suddenly you're like, screw it, this is way too much, this is way too hard, this is way too confusing, I can't manage all of this on my own, therefore I quit, and then you end up not doing anything. And I see this time and time and time and time again. These are the entrepreneurs who have so much potential, right? They are like so close to achieving such badass, great, ginormous things in their lives and their businesses, but they overwhelm themselves so early on in such early stages that they just can't hang anymore. Like they overwhelm themselves and they burn out. So this is a huge, huge mistake that people make. And so instead, what I want to say to you guys is, if you have all these millions of ideas of things that you want to do, that's amazing, that's great. Write them down. Like start organizing your thoughts. Otherwise, they're just going to get all tangled up in your brain and not make any sense sooner or later. Write them down. Either like open a folder in Google Drive, open an Evernote account, and keep all of your ideas there. That's what I do, okay? Keep all of your ideas there and then choose one. And if you're wondering, well, how do I know which idea is the one that I should be pursuing right now? That can be decided from a variety of aspects, right? You can be thinking of that from a variety of perspectives. In my opinion, choose the idea that's going to make you the most money the fastest, okay? Like a business is not a business without money, although maybe something else is going to really inspire you and light you up inside maybe a little bit more. At the end of the day, if you want to say that you're a real entrepreneur with a real business that's actually working, you need to prove to yourself that you can make the money, right? There's no point. Did you guys hear this shit? My dog is barking at nothing. Bam! She's out of control, I'm telling you. Who's running this place? Who's in charge here? No one knows. But as I was saying, choose the idea that's basically going to be able to generate you some money fast in the beginning, because just even seeing that little bit of money in the beginning is going to get you inspired. It's going to prove to yourself that you are capable of doing this, and then it's kind of fuel your fire in order to take yourself to the next step, if that makes sense. But the point is, you need to choose one thing and you need to stick with it, and you need to stick with it for a while, because this also happens all the time. But the people will come to me and they'll be like, okay, so I chose my thing and I tried it for like 2 weeks and it didn't work, and now I feel really discouraged and frustrated, and now I'm going to move on to the next thing because it's just not working. It takes more than 2 weeks for like anything in life to work. Okay, like it takes more than 2 weeks. I would give, like, for example, what entrepreneur says, like, if you're going to launch an online course, develop it, put it out into the world, and don't touch it, as in don't change a single thing in it until a year, because it really takes a year for an online course to be picking up enough traffic, to be gaining enough visibility, and to be generating enough sales in order for you to know if it's something that you want to continue or not. So some of these projects take a really long time to see if they actually work out, but you need to have that commitment to sticking with one thing, having that focus on one thing and that thing only. Create a strategy around that one thing. What are the certain milestones that you want to be hitting with that one thing? And again, some, of these other ideas that you have, you can be slowly getting ready for them in the background, or maybe some smaller projects you could be working on the back burner. But at the end of the day, you need to have one project that's going to be your number one focus. For example, for the past 3 weeks, my absolutely number one focus before anything else was Success Accelerator, right? Which is my program, my 6-week one-on-one program that is opening up on May 1st. And then it's going to be a 6-week long program, but then it's closing for the next probably year, 6 months to a year. So in the past 3 weeks of me preparing this for you guys, getting the program ready, promoting it, everything like that, I'm not working on literally anything else other than the basic things that need to be done, as in working with my existing clients. Obviously, I'm fully invested in them. I'm doing some social media stuff here and there, but for the most part, I'm not working on anything else during this time. I'm not working on developing other courses during this time. I'm not working on, a little bit I am. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I have a few surprises coming out for you guys, but nothing else is taking priority before Success Accelerator. Does that make sense? So choose one thing at a time, go all in on that, invest all of your energy, all your focus, all of your resources in that, and that's it until you see success, then move on. So that's the first thing I want to tell you guys. Be focused. It majorly requires focus. Okay, so the next thing that I want to tell you guys, and this is something that I've spoken about a lot, and maybe you feel like I'm beating a dead horse here. By the way, can we just take a second and think about how fucked up that expression is? That just came out of my mouth, beating a dead horse. And I'm like, whoever came up with that and thought that was appropriate. But anyway, for the sake of this conversation that we're having, beating a dead horse. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, I don't know. But I want to talk about the importance of being super fucking clear on your strengths and what you should actually be investing your time and energy in and what you should not. So probably the number one mistake that entrepreneurs make early stage is that, again, they try to tackle everything at once in their business, even the things that they're not naturally good at or don't naturally enjoy doing. And when you're doing that, you're actually doing yourself a huge disservice, because you're going to be seeing way bigger results, way more powerful results, way faster if you're actually investing your time and energy solely in the things that you most enjoy and the things that you are naturally the best at. So I know this can be hard in the beginning when you're a solopreneur and you feel like you don't have the resources to maybe outsource yet. For example, maybe you're doing all of your own accounting stuff right now in your business. You're keeping track of all of your income stuff and your expenses, and you're turning it into honestly, I couldn't even explain what the process is, the accounting side of having your own business, because I have an accountant who does all that for me. But the point is, I know that a lot of people are scared to hire an accountant early on, or whatever it is for you, a copywriter or a graphic designer, a virtual assistant. It could be a million and one things. And because you feel like you don't have the money or the resources, you're not generating enough revenue yet in order to really, have the money to invest in that while still keeping your business afloat. I get it. But I'm telling you right now, you're going to see money come in a hell of a lot faster from your business if you find the money now to outsource those things and then really put your strengths forward and work with clients one-on-one. You're going to see money come in a lot faster, and it's going to end up balancing itself out. I just can't emphasize it enough how important it is. Very early on, it's funny, my business coach, or my first business coach, I'll say, when she first got started, she also didn't have any money. Like, she didn't have any money. She wasn't, like, well-known at that point. She didn't have anything, right? She was just, like, a 19-year-old girl or whatever, like, in college. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to hire a virtual assistant. She didn't necessarily have, like, the extra funds to hire a virtual assistant, but she realized how much time it would free up for her if she no longer had to worry about dealing with, like, invoicing clients and contract stuff for her clients and all of, like, the back-end business stuff that she really didn't enjoy and that was really time-consuming for her. It ended up saving so much time, and it was totally worth the investment because then she could show up and be much more present with her existing clients and on the forefront of her business. Does that make sense? So that's something else that I really want to emphasize is really get very, very clear on what are your greatest strengths in your business. Don't try to tackle everything in your business. I'm telling you guys right now, there's not a single entrepreneur who I know who does everything in their business by themselves. Even if it seems like they do, like I'm sure up front, because you've just seen my face, it might seem like I'm the only one running everything in my business. It's not true. There are quite a few people on the back end helping me with different aspects here and there. But nobody does anything alone. It's impossible to run a six-figure business by yourself. It's just too many things that you have to do. So really identify very early on. Get very clear whether this means working this out with somebody else, sitting with somebody and talking it out, or, really journaling about it. But get very, very clear on what are the specific strengths that you have that are going to best benefit your business, especially in the early stages. And then what is everything else that you need to outsource? And then from there, you know that you can only invest fully in your strengths, and everything else is just worth outsourcing. So that's another thing that I want to tell you guys. Don't try to tackle everything at once. If you feel like something is taking you longer than it would take for a professional or somebody else to do it, or it's just not a good use of your time, it's probably not. So stop wasting your time. It's only going to set you back 5 steps, and everybody else who's maybe at the same level as you, who's also building businesses, while they're outsourcing everything, they're actually making themselves quite a few steps ahead of you because they're not wasting their time. So don't waste your time. Outsource where you need to outsource. Get the help that you need to help. You cannot accomplish anything great on your own when you are actually building a 6-figure business. That's the second thing I want to tell you guys. Okay. All right. The third thing, it's a little bit related to focus, but more specific. I cannot emphasize how important it is to have a well-rounded business strategy that you actually stick to. I think that one of the biggest mistakes, I keep saying the number one mistake people make. The truth is these are all big mistakes, right? It's why they made it into the top 5 list. But I think that one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they are just starting out a business is they feel like because they're not seeing results right away, and this is the first time in their life that they're not given a template or a step-by-step, here's what you need to do in order to succeed at having your own business, they get stressed that maybe what they're doing isn't the right thing or it's not what they should be prioritizing right now, and therefore they'll drop it and then they'll move on to something else, and they'll drop it and then they'll realize, oh my gosh, I forgot about this aspect of my business, and then they'll focus on that. So just as an example, people have come to me and they're like, okay, I'm just going to DIY this whole thing myself. I can figure this out. There's so much content online. So I'm just going to start by putting together a sales funnel because everybody is talking about sales funnels right now. And that's all that really matters. So great. And I'm like, okay, great. And then a month later, they'll come to me and they'll be like, wait, nobody told me that I need to be developing a community around what I'm doing, right? That I need to be getting followers and people who are ready and stoked on what I'm doing. Nobody told me I needed to do that. Oh, and then a month later, nobody told me that I need to be having, these packages in my business. Nobody told me how to price what I'm actually offering. Nobody told me about branding. Nobody told me about social media, about blogging. I'm saying that there are so many different aspects of putting together a well-rounded, sustainable business that it's nearly impossible, to do that 100% on your own, right? And especially from the beginning, how are you supposed to consider all of that? If you've never launched a business before, if you've never taken on such a big project list before, how are you supposed to know all of the different aspects that you're supposed to incorporate into it? And then how do you know that you're supposed to put that into a clear, well-formulated, well-rounded strategy that you can actually stick to? So the problem is that people just want to get started one day, and that's great, but then every 5 minutes, they're freaking out because they realize that they forgot about something else that they should have included or that they should have incorporated, right? And then they'll drop whatever they're doing, move on to that. And because of it, it just ends up being all these scattered, disconnected aspects of their businesses that don't in any way coordinate together. And because of it, it's going to make your journey a hell of a lot harder and more frustrated. And it's going to take a much, much longer time. So I cannot emphasize the importance of having a very clear, well-structured strategy with specific deadlines and goals that you can stick to and track in order to actually reach the results that you are aiming toward. So if you never put together like a formal business strategy, this is when a business coach, for example, comes in really handy, because these kinds of people, these professionals, can come in and say, hey, look, I've built 20 really successful businesses just like this, and I know that you need to, based on what your goals are and what kind of business you're building, this is what you specifically need to include. These are the goals that you need to be focusing on. This is what needs to be prioritized right now. Sorry guys, allergies going crazy. But basically there are all these different aspects, right? That if you have somebody on your team who can come in and help you, make it very, very clear, okay, here's what you need to be sticking to, and then you're going to experience way less setbacks, way less like, aha, wait a second, why didn't I think of this before moments, and you're just generally going to feel like way less of an idiot, which is a mistake that I made. When I first got started, I was like, oh, I'm just going to figure it out myself, how hard can it be, and whatever, and thank God it did work out, but the truth is that maybe it could have happened a hell of a lot faster if I just had somebody on my team to make it very clear to me, this is exactly what needs to be included here, and this is what you need to be sticking to. You see what I'm saying? So that's the third thing I want to tell you guys is have a very clear, well-rounded strategy from the beginning that you can stick to, so that you have very clear milestones that you're hitting and goals that you're trying to reach. That's the next thing. The fourth thing that I want to talk about is having a very positive relationship with money. And this might sound really weird to some of you guys, like that sounds really strange, or maybe some weird, like my client Audrey, what up girl, she taught me this expression called like ruru. Maybe if you're from the East Coast, you've heard of this expression, ruru. I've never heard of this term, but she said that ruru was like being like hippy dippy kind of, so people think that like when they hear things like that, it's very woo-woo or very hippy dippy, like develop a positive relationship with money and you'll see it manifest in your life. And I am so not that person. I wasn't raised to be that person, but I cannot believe how much I believe in this shit now. So this is just what I've learned in my own business and what I've read about time and time again, other people's businesses, and just somebody who's currently like really deep in studying the art of wealth consciousness. It's just really, really interesting to me that when you approach money as something that is something that you don't have enough of in your life, is something that only causes problems, is something that you're desperate to hold on to, then that like negative relationship, that almost like addiction to money is going to feed very negatively into your life, and it's going to make it much harder for you to get clients. So just an example, if you believe like, okay, well, I want to get 5 clients into this program, or I want to sell, 5 copies of this product that I developed, but I have so much competition, and all of these guys, all these other competitors are actually taking all the money, and they're taking my clients, and there's not enough money to go around in the world. I don't deserve money. All of these like negative thoughts, that's what's going to produce in your life. Okay, you're actually going to see that manifest in your life, and I've seen that in my own business. I've told this story from like a year and a half or 2 years ago now, that it was like 2 years ago now, that I really had like a rock bottom moment. I didn't even realize it, but I was like in serious debt to the bank in my bank account, like serious credit card debt, didn't have like a single dollar to my name. And I didn't even realize it because I just had like no financial awareness at this point. And I was so upset. I remember like sitting in a restaurant with my boyfriend. It was like in public, okay? And I'm just like sobbing, like, I don't deserve money. I'm not good at what I do. No one wants to work with me because na 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 and whatever. And because of it, that did manifest into my life. Like I just was having so many negative thoughts about money that the world responded to that, right? People could like feel that negative energy, right? They could feel how negatively I felt toward money and my work. And because of it, of course, nobody wanted to work with me. But then I had a major mindset shift. I started realizing, wait, there is enough money in the world to go around. There is unlimited money that I can have in my life. It is just waiting there for me. Like the money that I want in my life, I want to manifest, it's there, it's waiting for me. And I just need to basically discover ways of manifesting it, right? But it's sitting there, it's waiting for me. No one else is going to take it. There's no rush here. There's no pressure. There's no competition. I've got this, and I see money instead of something that causes problems in my life and stresses and insecurities. It's actually something that can bring a lot of joy into my life, having the money that I need is what allows me to do the work that I do for you guys. It's what allows me to live. It's what allows me to travel the world, to, own things that I want to own, whatever it is. It's what allowed me to basically be able to pay for everybody who signs up for Success Accelerator to go to the Bahamas. If you want to join the program, I'm going to send everybody to the Bahamas on a 3-day cruise. So having money, these are all like really positive, exciting things that I have been able to basically provide for myself and provide for my community with money. So it's about constantly saying to yourself, like, I am grateful for money. Money is my friend. I'm not afraid of money. I'm not scared of not having money. And just kind of telling yourself these like daily affirmations really, really does make a difference. So if you basically approach yourself and your business like that, it's going to come through in your branding and your personality and how you speak to your audience. They're going to be able to see that you're not desperate for their money. You know, you're not desperate to hold on to your business. That's all really negative, you know, and people can really feel that energy. Instead, if you're like, I'm stoked about the work that I'm doing, I'm stoked about the money that I'm able to bring in order to give even more back to my community, that's a very different vibe, right? That people are going to respond to much more deeply, and they're going to want to work with you a lot more. So that's the next thing I want to say is really practice the art of having a positive relationship with money. And if I can recommend 2 books to you guys that actually speak a lot about this, actually one of them is sitting on my desk right now. But the first one is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. She is amazing. It's one of my favorite books of all time, and it gets deep into wealth consciousness. And she is actually coming out with her second book right now, which is, I think it's called like You Are a Badass with Money or something. And it's not out yet. I actually pre-ordered it, but that's more about like how to really channel a positive wealth consciousness mindset. The second one is actually right here. This is the Think and Grow Rich for Women. So I'm sure that many of you guys know the Napoleon Hill book, Think and Grow Rich. The problem is that it's like 1,000,000 years old and doesn't so much apply to a lot of people anymore. But this one, Think and Grow Rich for Women, if you're a lady, I think you might really, really relate to this one. So I really love this book as well. So that's the next thing that I want to share with you guys. I hope that helps. The next thing that I really want to say to you guys, and this is the 5th one and the last one, but this has probably been the number one thing, I'm telling you guys, like this is actually the number one thing in my business that has made all the difference to me. And that is have the right people in your corner. You cannot accomplish anything great on your own. It's all going to come down to the relationships that you have with people around you, whether that means your family members, friends, acquaintances, fellow students, your clients, your community members, whatever it is, the people that you hire basically to help you take your business to the next level. That is what's going to make all the difference. So I told this story, I think in a video maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, but basically, the story was how when I first started my business, I basically made a spreadsheet of everybody I knew in my network who I thought could eventually really be able to help me in my business, whether that meant they could be my client or they knew somebody who could be my client or they were a branding person, they could help me with my branding and my marketing, or, business strategists, influencers who I could develop relationships with, who could maybe in the future promote me to their audiences. Sorry guys, got my leopard print coffee going on. And I made it very, very clear. So I had like family members, friends, coworkers, colleagues, summer camp friends from when I was a kid, Zumba friends, like anybody who I knew, fellow like college friends, whatever it was, like 1,000,000 different things. Who are people who are in my life who I know can help take my business to the next level, either today or tomorrow or in the future or whatever. And that made it very clear to me. And that's when I kind of developed all the people in my life who I thought, who I didn't even have a relationship with, but people who, I was in their Facebook groups or I followed them, I was on their email list or whatever, but people like, I want to work with this coach one day, or I want to be able to have this marketing strategist really help me, create a good brand around what I'm doing. To the people who like are my mom's friends who owned clothing stores. And I thought like, well, maybe I could help them with, like their social media and their marketing for their brand. So make it very, very clear from the beginning, who are the people who you need in your corner in order to help you grow your business. Because again, you cannot do anything great alone. Everybody has people on their team who can basically help them. And then if you don't already have a relationship with certain people, start identifying like, what are ways that you can help them now? How can you start fostering that relationship now in order to grow it to the point where when you do actually need their help or you do want to start working with them, it'll be the appropriate time to make that ask. Do you see what I'm saying? So for an example, you know what? I'm going to think of a few examples. I'm going to get back to you guys. But basically, really take the time to think, like, who do you need in your circle, so that you don't have to waste as much time, so that you don't have to deal with so much like a lack of know-how or confusion in your business. Who are the people who could help you start seeing results right away? Again, whether that is potential clients who you know, or business coaches like me who you know, or marketers or sales funnel people or copywriters. I mean, it could be a million and one people. It could be like editors, maybe like your dream is to get featured in Forbes one day, right? What editors can you start developing a relationship with at Forbes, who can one day, get you into their publication? What are influencers who you can start building relationships with, like Daniel Day Piazza? I had followed Daniel Day Piazza for years and years and years, bought a ton of his stuff. Engaged with him online, whatever, never knew him. He was like a big influencer until I eventually had the opportunity to fly down to LA and kick it with him for like an hour or so and talk to him about his new book and then kind of be able to develop this relationship with him. You know what I mean? So who are people now who you can start developing relationships with so that you can finally make that ask? You cannot do this alone, you guys. I'm telling you right now, don't waste your time. Don't try to DIY the whole thing. Find the right people who can be in your corner, who can back you up, who can be there for you and help support you every step of the way, because otherwise you're just going to feel lonely and down, and it's going to be really hard to get out of these setbacks when you're in them, when you're feeling totally alone in this. So I hope that was helpful. Those are the 5 things that I really, really believe that Gen Yers need in order to succeed at being an entrepreneur today, in order to succeed at really growing and scaling, especially online businesses. This is what I've experienced. This is what the people in my community have experienced, my biz besties, so many different people in so many different niches. These are the 5 consistent things. So I really wanted to put this out there for you guys to make it totally clear and transparent, no bullshit. These are the 5 things that you should 100% be focusing on and committing yourself to in order to really launch and take yourself to the next level right away. With that said, you guys, I can't believe this, but these are the last, I think it's like 48-ish hours right now. I have to check the timer, but 48-ish hours until Success Accelerator 100% closes. So I know that you guys have been hearing me speak about this non-stop, but we are almost coming to an end. But I can't stop speaking about it because this is by far, hands down, the number one thing that I've been able to offer you guys throughout all of my years of running this business and of offering you guys my different program packages and whatever, but this is by far the best. So as you guys know, Success Accelerator is my 6-week one-on-one program where you and I basically hold hands, become best friends, and we basically create that strategy that you need in order to launch and scale a business from A to Z, everything that you need. So I mentioned a few minutes ago the importance of having, a social media strategy, sales funnels, branding, marketing, copywriting, like how do you put together your packages, how do you actually sell things, paid media, organic media, like all these different aspects that you need in order to launch and scale and start seeing clients at an accelerated rate is what I'm going to be including for you guys in this program. So if you guys want to learn more about specifically what we cover in the program, you can check it out, lenaelkins.com/success accelerator. And in addition to that, and by the way, it's very customizable. So if you're somebody who already has a business, yet there's a specific aspect that you want to focus on, that's what we're going to do. We're going to want 100% focus on that aspect. And so it's very customizable depending on what your goals are, what are the milestones that you're trying to hit, what are the challenges that you're currently experiencing, what kind of a business that you're going to be able to build. These are tailor-made opportunities basically to work with me, and we're going to figure it out together. So if you guys want to know everything else that's included, you can check it out on my website. Plus, just so you guys know, of course, as I do with all of my big one-on-one programs between my 6-week and my 4-month program, I'm including all of my digital products. So that includes the Reaching Richness Master Course, which is $300, Instagram Bootcamp, $115, all of my big basically programs that you can have forever and ever access to. You're going to be able to have even after the program ends so that you could continue your learning and you're growing even when we're not working together one-on-one. But that's not even the exciting part. The exciting part is that I'm going to be including 2 major vacation opportunities for you guys. And a lot of you guys have asked me, why are you doing this? Well, first of all, let me tell you guys what they are. So the first thing is, for the first 3, so there are 5 spots, right? Let's start there. There are 5 spots in Success Accelerator this round, and then I'm not going to be opening up the program again for the next year, I believe, or so, with how my calendar looks right now. So there are 5 spots open right now for this program, and for the first 3 people who sign up, I'm going to be giving you a 100% free entry ticket to Nomad Accelerator. So for those of you guys who don't know what what Nomad Accelerator is, it's basically a 2-week convention in Barcelona, Spain. Hell yeah. Where basically everybody stays in the same hotel and everything, and all that's included. And we basically get deep into how you can create a business that's going to allow you to live a digital nomad lifestyle. So how can you be location independent, right? How can you basically travel and live anywhere around the world and continue to give back to your community, continue to get clients, continue to grow without stressing about having to be in an office somewhere or be in one city, right? So this is the kind of lifestyle that I've been able to develop, as well as the 9 or so other speakers who will be speaking at Nomad Accelerator. So all of these speakers are like world-renowned entrepreneurs from various industries, people who I'm telling you right now, you would not normally have access to, let alone learn from, but then again, stay in the same hotel as and speak to and eat meals with. It's going to be a huge, huge, huge opportunity for me and for you guys. So it's going to be 10 speakers. It's over 2 weeks, and access to this event is $2,500. However, I was able to partner with them as I'm one of the speakers. And for the first 3 people who will be signing up for Success Accelerator, my 6-week coaching program, I'm also going to be giving you 100% free access into the 2-week convention in Barcelona, Spain. So that's fucking huge. The second thing that I'm going to be offering you guys, and this applies for all 5 people who end up signing up for Success Accelerators, I'm going to be sending you guys all on a cruise to the Bahamas. So I'm going to be giving you guys a 3-day package where you and a loved one can go over the next 18 months. So basically, I'm going to give you like the voucher to go for free, and then you'll have 18 months to basically redeem it and use it. But it's 100% included cruise to the Bahamas for 3 days, all included. Everything except for alcohol, I believe. Sorry about that. On the cruise to the Bahamas, and that's what it's going to include. So that's going to be for every single person. By the way, that's like an $1,000 package or something crazy like that. But I'm going to be giving it to every single person, all 5 people who sign up for Nomad Accelerator or Success Accelerator. You will be going to the Bahamas. And a lot of you guys have asked me, like, why are you doing this? Why are you offering this? And the truth is that I want to practice what I preach. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am such a big believer in traveling. I am a believer in seeing the world while you're young, while you're energized, while you're physically capable of doing so. And building a business is not about just working, right? It's about doing what you want to do in your life. And for so many of you guys, I know that is traveling. It's about seeing the world. It's about exploring. It's about not feeling bogged down by a 9-to-5 job. It's only going to give you a week or 2 weeks of vacation every year. And so I want to really incentivize you guys to not only build your business, but to reward yourself right away by going to travel and seeing the world. Between going to Barcelona and going to the Bahamas, 100% on me. I'm fine doing that. I am happy doing that because I want to put my money where my mouth is and tell you guys that I want to support you guys and encourage you guys to go and do this for real, not just talk about it in any way that I can. So I wanted to stop this talking about living this digital nomad lifestyle, not just talk about building a business, but actually doing it together one-on-one. And if that means that I have to pay for you guys to go take these vacations and go see the world and go explore, hell yeah, I'm 100% happy to do that. So that is why I'm including these in this program. I wanted you guys an extra kick in the butt, tell you guys now is the time. There is no other time. I'm not offering this at any other time. This is the only time. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that you apply while you still can. Applications are due on May 1st, which I believe is Monday. And so I really look forward to seeing all the applicants until then. We already have about 15 applications in. I'm currently sifting through them. Again, only 5 people will get spots. So please take the time, apply now to basically increase your chances. I'm going to include all of those links, the application link and all of that, here below in this post. With that said, you guys have any questions, hit me up. As always, you can always email me at lena@lenaelkins.com or PM me here. With that said, I love you guys. Have an awesome weekend, and we will talk soon. Bye.